welcome to Jesus for Asia Now. I'm Natalie Wood, and I have my husband John here with me on the show today. Hello, love.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You know, here at Jesus for Asia, we talk about how many projects we have.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of ministries just have one or two projects that they're working on.
That'd be great.
But we have so many.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just want to highlight one today.
Yeah.
And
well, having a lot of projects isn't necessarily better.
No.
It's just the way the Lord has led us.
Right.
And to promote and help and to start as many projects as possible, because our overall purpose is to see as many people in the kingdom of heaven as possible before we die.
Right, and the Lord has a lot of variety of ways He's trying to reach people.
Right, the verse that says, sow beside all waters, that's kind of our verse.
Yeah. Well, we want to start out thinking about true religion today.
Yes.
There's a verse in James.
One of your favorites.
Yes.
Yes.
James 1:27, and that is, pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to care for the widows and the fatherless in their affliction, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world.
Yeah.
So our part is to be sin-free in the Lord's strength.
Yes.
But our part also is to care for the widows and the fatherless. And we believe that there's spiritual widows as well as physical widows.
And physical fatherless as well as
Spiritual
spiritual fatherless that don't know who their daddy is.
That's right. And so the project we want to talk about today is dealing with the physical widows.
Yes.
But it's also in hopes of sharing with them that they are also spiritual widows, that they don't know their father.
Right. And introducing them to their husband.
That is right.
Yeah.
We started out, and some of our viewers may have seen a different show about our evening schools.
Yes.
And we started with the evening schools, and in this one place, the first place, Chimbrambakam, we had an evening school.
Yes.
And I think we have a little video from there.
It shows where I become aware, or we become aware of the need, huge need.
For the evening schools.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
In 2004, I was privileged to visit a small community in India located beside a river. I found them sleeping on the sidewalk after a big flood had swept away their homes.
They are requesting, our children are not studying. Can you do some help for them? Get some education.
Oh, education.
Yes.
Even though they had just lost everything in the flood, their only request was for their children. So we started some evening schools, like this one near Chennai, where children from all walks of life can come and learn reading, writing, arithmetic, and other subjects, and receive a free meal to help them fight malnutrition that often plagues the young people growing up here.
So that was the start of our evening school program. And we were in this place that you see in the video for 9 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 years straight. And from that came this next video where Brother Israel, who's the director for Jesus for Asia in India, he started to get to know some of the mothers of these kids.
Okay, here we go.
Some ladies, you know, they doesn't have husbands, and because they don't have livelihood, so they were forced to get into sexual abusing or, you know, kind of prostitution to make their livelihood. When I saw these ladies, because their children are coming for the evening school, so I have a very close rapport with them. That is how I came to know their personal problems. They were uneducated, without a job, and they were forced to do a lot of bad things. But now, by God's grace, this program has brought in a great change.
The status with the widow in India is that they will never be able to remarry. Nobody will really want to marry somebody that has been married before. And many of them have no education, no way to care for themselves, no way to care for their children. And so they're kind of forced into doing these degrading things in order to just survive.
Right, and you know, the widow in India has traditionally been a very hard life.
Yes.
I mean, even going back to the days of William Carey, when he fought against sati, which was the practice of actually putting the widow on the funeral pyre with the husband when he passed away. So it's been a long time, you know, with these widows having a hard lot in life.
Right.
And so to do something to help them.
Yeah, so Israel came up with this idea.
Israel proposed we start a sewing school for widows. Currently, we have a 2-hour morning session with 6 sewing machines running full-time and ladies waiting in line. They would like to add another shift in the afternoon.
They say to me that, sir, you have opened the door, like we can take care of our children now. So they are very happy, they are excited about this project. I thank the Lord for that. You can see the smile on their faces, they are very happy, they are excited, they come well dressed to the classes, and they are like going to a job, they have something to do, they have the future now. So they are very excited, happy.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful ladies.
Yeah, it brings me so much joy.
Yeah, and they're
see
so
this.
happy.
Yeah, people don't smile in India for photos.
No, they
But
don't.
they were smiling, and it's so wonderful to see. Just a lot of joy, and we weren't there to convert them. We were there just to bless them, and that gave me joy because this is what Jesus would do.
Right.
But still, the teacher, we get some of the stories that are coming out of there. The teacher was Hindu. Okay, and she was loving this job because she also was a widow, and she supported herself and put her children through school through her tailoring. Okay,
So she was helping other ladies do what she had to do herself.
exactly, but she was Hindu, but her daughter had been married for 2 years and had not gotten pregnant, and this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a very big deal in India.
Yeah, the husband would leave. If,
He'll go get another wife.
right. But so she came and asked the Christians, will you pray for my daughter? And they said, sure. And they prayed for her, and within 2 months, that daughter was pregnant. And so the Hindu sewing teacher, gave glory to God, saying that your God helped my daughter get pregnant.
Hopefully he'll become her God too.
Absolutely. He already is.
Right.
She may not realize it completely, but what a seed has been planted.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome seed.
With her and with all those widows and whoever else she comes in
Yeah.
contact with.
And then the next part of the story is a very hard one. There was terrible flooding in that location.
Yeah.
And the building began to deteriorate very rapidly. It was an old building in the beginning, and it had started having some cracks and things.
Yeah, some of the parts of the ceiling were falling out, and they were worried about having people there and the ceiling falling in.
Right. So we had the widows there during the day, and we had the children there at night. And so they became more and more concerned. And you did a video about that with Israel. Let's see that one.
If it falls on the ladies here, it will be a big problem. And during the evening times, here there are 60 students, children, small kids seated here.
Yeah.
Imagine if it falls down and you can see the ceiling there completely, broken. Completely broken. These places, during rainy season, it is pouring down.
It's leaking. Water's coming through there.
Yes, water is leaking.
So why doesn't the landlady fix it?
Because now she has to break it completely and she has to fix it.
So the whole building has to be taken down.
Yes.
So that was a sad thing, and we didn't own that property, and we looked around for places to own, and we found one building that was a lot smaller, and just the property was just right around the building, like 1 foot on either side, and it was $50,000.
Yeah, and it wasn't big enough for the 60 children that go there every evening.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, we had to close that location.
Yeah.
So we were very sad, and we've been praying that the Lord would enable us to buy something in that village. Unfortunately, we haven't found anything yet or have the funds either to purchase, but the Lord has opened another place.
Yes.
And so the old place, Chembrambakam, we don't have anything there right now. We're still praying. But the Lord has opened another place. He shared with us another place. And this is a neat story I want you to share.
Yeah, Israel had shared with me earlier, several months before, that there was a request for a new school being opened, a widow school. And this was special because it had been started many years ago by our dear Dorothy Watts, who was the wife of the president of the Southern Asia Division, Pastor Ron Watts, who was such a great guy, such a wonderful couple, gave many years of their life to service in India. But she, unfortunately, had to go home, and she passed away. And so the school fell into kind of disrepair. And
People forgot about it. It seemed like people forgot. And she
Yeah.
wasn't there to remind people.
the funding dried up. And so when we heard about it. We weren't in a position to start it and open it. But then just recently I went over there on a tour, and I just had this impression from the Lord, I believe, saying, it's time to open a school. Time to open a widow's school. Because the truth is that maybe even if we don't have the funds, we have to do something. We have to do something for God. We have to obey the Word of God. Even if we don't clearly see the road ahead of us, we have to just take a step in that direction. And so I told Israel, yeah, let's open that widow school. So go ahead and call the section president and let him know that we want to open this school.
So you have some video from there.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And
so what's the first one?
The first video we have is the first night we went there, just getting to know the people, seeing the building, seeing the situation and stuff like that. So I put together a little video because I fell in love with these people. They're a Gypsy colony, okay? So they're very, very boisterous.
Flamboyant.
Flamboyant, yes.
You'll see them dancing.
Yes.
And they make jewelry for a living.
Yep.
And things like that.
And they used to do all kinds of stuff. So this video is just kind of like a collage of different shots that I got the first evening that I was there. The next day we did the grand opening of the widow school, and we'll show that later. But right now I just want you to meet these people.
So this is the introduction.
Yes.
Okay.
ஐயா பேர் வந்து பிரசாத். அவங்க வந்து ஜீசஸ் ஃபார் ஏசியா, அதாவது ஏசியாவுக்கு நீங்க என்ன செய்யணும்? நிறைய சபைகளை கவனிக்கிறாங்க, எல்லாம் கற்றுக்கோங்க.
Joyful, happy people.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun.
Beautiful children.
Yeah.
Sweet smiles.
Yeah. The least of these, my brethren.
That's for sure.
Very poor. They're not worth much in the world's eyes.
Yeah.
Making little beads for a living, going out and catching
Chewing
rabbits
the beetle
or whatever.
nuts. And...
Yeah, all that stuff. But in God's eyes, in heaven's eyes, precious.
That's right. Yeah. It was neat to see them moving the sewing machines in there.
Yeah.
And to think that that's going to be reopened.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not just a widow's school.
No.
We saw all the children there.
Oh my goodness.
And they're going to do a feeding program. They're going to do the evening school for the children also.
Yes.
Okay, so that building will be used for the widow's school and the evening school.
Well, you notice in that overview that there was a church and the school right next to each other. So in the church, they're going to have the evening school every evening, and then, of course, the widow's school during the day. But they don't want to have the evening school in the widow's school because of all the fancy equipment, the machines.
They'd have to move the machines all the time.
Right.
Well, at least they have a church there and they can have it both on the same property.
Yes. Yeah, it's an ideal situation.
So we have another video. What's this one?
Okay, this is kind of self-explanatory, but when you're traveling through India, sometimes you're not feeling so
sick.
good. Yeah, what's funny is that we had been eating at regular restaurants and regular places and in people's homes throughout the whole trip, and I had had no problem. So we came to this town, and the president says, well, I need to take you to a nice place because you're an American.
Oh.
He told me once that an American had come and he'd put them in a normal place and he'd gotten yelled at. You know, the American was upset with him for putting him in, Anyway, so he was very careful. So we ate at a really nice restaurant and I got sick.
You got sick. Okay.
At a nice restaurant. So this is talking about that, but then we meet some of the people there that are going to be going to the school as well.
And you get to do some coconut water.
We got coconut water.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so this is some of the joys of traveling in India. This morning I woke up with a little rumbling in the stomach, and I spent some time in the smaller part of our hotel, the smaller room. And so I'm a little bit uncomfortable this morning. Skipped supper last night and had about a couple bites of idli, and I'm just not that excited. So they're making some coconut drinks for us, which normally I'd be all over that. But right now I'm kind of all over that. My mind goes out to our brothers and sisters in countries where they're actually feeling real discomfort, like in China where they're getting persecuted, and other countries in the Middle East where they're actually getting persecuted, killed, beaten, all this kind of stuff. I'm suffering nothing. Hello. 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 What is your name? What is your name? Sambo. Glad to meet you. Sam.
John?
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a fresh young coconut, and there's tender coconut. It's got water inside. It's filled with water, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to drink some of this, and we'll see how it goes.
Right. Yeah, right.
I do not have a problem with fresh young coconut. What is your name? Sailaja. Very glad to meet you. What is your name? Huh? What? What's your name? Vikness. Okay, glad to meet you. You're Vikness too? Brothers? Okay, all right. Lelu. Oh, huh? Jagan. Okay. That's your son. Your boy? Okay. What is your name? Huh? Guspu. Glad to meet you, Guspu. What's your baby's name? Bangu. Hello. This is the traditional dress that they wear, the traditional clothes that they wear. He hunts foxes. This community's kind of tradition. Hunts foxes and whatever else, flying foxes as well as walking foxes. He got his gun here. It's like a muzzle loader. He got his bag here, got his pot, good to go.
So Bhaskar has a boy and a girl that are going to come to this evening school and learn about Jesus and a new way of life and eternal life. I think he's cooler than I am. This is too hot. Is this your daughter? Daughter? Oh, yeah, this is her daughter. Her daughter is suffering from polio, or previous case of polio, so she doesn't walk properly. So pray for this family, Bhaskar and his family, as they start the school, the widow school, as well, the sewing school, as well as the evening schools with the meals.
Wow, that's neat. They're beautiful people.
Yeah, and it was so hot there. Just functioning took everything I had, but you know.
Especially when you're not feeling well.
Oh yeah, but just meeting with those people and hanging out with them, spending time getting to know who they are, trying to understand their names. It was a lot of fun. I miss being there.
Yeah, beautiful people, beautiful children.
Yeah.
It's so neat when we get to be a blessing to them.
Yeah.
And
just to be able to
think about they're going to be learning more about Jesus because we found out about the opportunity and we were able to say yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So
it's awesome.
Okay, the next part of the story kind of goes back to the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
And that is when the head man found out.
It's so cool how God brings people together and not just one person gets to have all the joy, but that he is able to spread it out. So it's like I get to go and meet the people, but then I can bring their story back and then other people can partner and be a part of their lives.
Right.
And receive some of that joy of seeing others blessed, which is, that's where the joy is. I was reading today that being able to give the light that we have received from the Father is the highest honor and the greatest joy that is possible for God to bestow.
That's pretty strong.
So of all the joys in the universe, sharing the light that we've been given, the blessings we've been giving with others,
sharing Jesus,
is the best pleasure that he could find anywhere.
And it's the highest honor.
Yeah.
So it's pretty important work.
Yeah, and
he has given us.
And that's why I love it so much, because we get to do that. But it's not just us doing it. So it's nothing about us.
Right.
You know, we share with the people that we know and with our viewing audience, and we all get to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Blessings all around.
Yeah, plenty of blessings.
God has lots.
It's a feast full of blessings.
That's right.
Okay, well, we want to step back a minute to before you told Israel to go ahead and call the section office and tell them that we would start the widow's school.
Okay.
There's a story before that.
Okay. This is what's really cool, because remember I told Israel to go ahead and call the president to say that we wanted to open it. He called on a Thursday afternoon to the president. When we got there, we found out that there was a story behind that the head man had gotten with his wife in an auto rickshaw and a bus, whatever it took to get to the president's headquarters.
2 hours travel.
Yeah. He had basically fallen on his knees and begged him, please open this school for my village. Because he had seen how it had blessed the village before and now had closed and it wasn't doing anything. And so he's begging him. That was Thursday morning. And Israel called and talked to him Thursday afternoon. Because the president told the head man, he says, there's nothing I can do. I don't have the money.
Yeah, just go back and pray.
He said, yeah, go pray. So the head man went back and prayed. And that afternoon, he was able to call and say, we're going to open it. So this is kind of his reaction.
Okay.
So you can see the emotion that he experienced while he's thinking about and hearing them tell the story of how God moved and the timing. You know, he comes and begs Thursday morning, prays. Thursday afternoon, they get the word that it's going to be open. And the following Tuesday, we were there in this opening ceremony.
Okay, here we go.
I plan to be there, Lord willing.
வாழ்க்கையை ஆரம்பிச்சு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அது முடிவில்லாத வாழ்க்கையா இருக்கு. உடைய ஆவியானவர் உடைய பிள்ளைகளை கட்டுப்பாட்டு
So, to the glory of God, we pronounce this open.
ஓகே ஆண்டுடைய நாமத்தின் மகிமைக்காக நான் எல்லாம் கை தட்டுங்க.
Okay, we've just opened the widow school, the sewing school, here in this village, and you can see that these ladies are just going to town. It's like pent-up desire and energy to learn sewing, to better their lives, have an income, provide for their families, their kids. So I'm so excited. This gives me a lot of joy to see these people doing this work.
What a blessing.
Yeah, it brings a lot of joy back to me just seeing that again.
Yeah, to see the joy
Yeah.
and to know it's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And the children will be having regular meal every day. They'll be having a meal there.
Yep.
And the ladies will be learning sewing. So what a
Yeah.
blessing.
And that village will be blessed.
Yes. I would like to invite our viewers to be a part of this by praying for these schools and for the ones that had to close, that we could open them again and that the blessing will continue. If you are impressed to be a part of this financially, you can send your tax-deductible love gift to Jesus for Asia, P.O. Box 1221, Collegedale, Tennessee 37315. Call us at 423-413-7321 or check out our website at jesusforasia.org. May God richly bless you until we see you again on Jesus for Asia Now.